with your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com. We broadcast live on YouTube and X. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 30 and change. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. That's right, November 28th, 2024. It is Thanksgiving Day. The Rome Show, 12OZ Sports, wants to take a second to wish you, your family, your friends, and whoever you celebrate Thanksgiving with, whoever you eat all the food with, whoever you sit on the couch and watch football with, whoever that is to you, the Rome Show, 12OZ Sports, we are wishing you a happy, a healthy, and a safe Thanksgiving. I know last night, Thanksgiving Eve, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, has transitioned into one of the largest partying or drinking or do something nights in our country because everybody, almost everybody, doesn't work today. So no matter what you're thinking, right? No matter what you think about Thanksgiving, whether you like football or you don't, today's a great day because you have it to yourself to spend time with whoever you would like. So go do that today. Go spend some time with the people you love on Thanksgiving. And while you're at it, check out some of the football games we have going on today. Here, we will break down all of the football action for you today on The Rome Show. Get in on the action. The Rome Show. Instagram, X, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you call those things. 12OZ Sports on all of the same platforms. Go to YouTube, subscribe. Go to X, subscribe, and you'll get The Rome Show every single day. Not anticipating a heavy live crowd today because of it being the day after Thanksgiving Eve. So if you are one of our live listeners this morning and you really enjoyed the Thanksgiving edition show, make sure you share it with a friend, whether that's on the replay at 12ozsports.com or the Rome Show podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, last night on my Instagram, I threw out a question to get us prepared for today's Thanksgiving discussion. Oftentimes, when you get to the holiday of Thanksgiving, it starts to become a conversation of where would you rank the holiday of Thanksgiving, right? Do you like it more than Christmas or Halloween? Are you more of a 4th of July person, right? Like usually when we get around the holiday season, it starts to become a conversation of what holidays you like more. And so at my office last week, we started a conversation about what your favorite Thanksgiving Day dish is, okay? Then we started to get all these other different conversations about what is a Thanksgiving Day dish. And I said to myself, that's a great question because outside of the turkey and probably the stuffing, I think what you eat on Thanksgiving ranges 90,000 different ways depending on who you are and how you celebrate your Thanksgiving. So that then turned into a conversation of how you'd rank the holiday. And so I came up with this question. I thought it was a lot of fun and we got a lot of good responses last night. So we are going to start the show with it today. And then we are going to break down all 3 National Football League games today. I got some info for you on them. I got my picks for you. And then we'll wrap up this Thanksgiving edition Rome Show here live on 12OZ Sports. Dom Salat 27 wrote in, oh, wait, I got to tell you the question first. Oh, that is unbelievable. The question posed was, if Thanksgiving, the holiday, was a professional athlete, what professional athlete would Thanksgiving be? I'll say it one more time. If Thanksgiving was a professional athlete, what professional athlete would Thanksgiving be? I'll start with my example because I think my example helped kickstart the people yesterday. My example for Thanksgiving being a professional athlete was Tracy McGrady, and here is why. Tracy McGrady was really good, not great, okay? Didn't reach his full potential, I believe, but was always enjoyable to watch, okay? So my comp for Thanksgiving is Tracy McGrady, the basketball player who had a good career, but not the career you would have expected him to have. Okay, let's go to the rest of our answers because we got a bunch of them into the Instagram and social media. Sorry, buttons all over the place. Dom Salat writes, Eric Gagne, if you're with the right people, the desserts could be the best part. Closer equals cheesecake. Okay, I could take Eric Gagne as a comp for Thanksgiving. Kevin Regan _ writes, Johnny Manziel. Okay. He said Johnny Manziel was good at the beginning, but gets worse. Okay. All right. Chris _ DeSena 7 writes, John Madden. Okay. No explanation there from Mr. DeSena, but in my opinion, here's my thing. John Madden did a bit eating, I think it was turducken every single Thanksgiving football game. And it became a really big part of the experience of Thanksgiving football with John Madden, his team, and the whole thing. John Madden's an experience in its own right. So maybe that's exactly what Mr. DeSena is talking about here. His comp for Thanksgiving to pro athlete is John Madden, because John Madden embodies all the qualities of Thanksgiving. Wants to eat a lot, wants to have a lot of fun, wants to watch football, wants to take a nap. Michael.Anthony.Joseph writes, the fridge, Perry. Okay. The fridge, Perry, Pittsburgh Steeler, Hall of Famer. He clearly likes Thanksgiving. All right. We continue. PB2293 writes in, Bernie Williams, really good, but overshadowed by other stars. I think of all of the comps so far, including my own, I think PDB2293 takes home the comp comparison. Bernie Williams, because it's really good, but overshadowed by other stars. And that's a fact. Like Thanksgiving Eve / Thanksgiving Day is an elite holiday. It's an elite 2-day span of time for the people. It's elite. We all look for times to not work, and Thanksgiving Eve and Thanksgiving Day give us all a chance to not work, right? But you don't realize how good of a holiday Thanksgiving is because you're surrounded by so many other great things, starting with my birthday in October. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And for me, that's what starts the holiday train. But you got Halloween, October 31st. You got Thanksgiving a month later, and then you got Christmas a month after that. And in my humble opinion, in that order, it would be Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. But to PDB2293's point here, when asking the question, if Thanksgiving was a professional athlete, what professional athlete would Thanksgiving be? Bernie Williams nailed it for PDB2293. Nick _ Payne29 writes in Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to assume here, because Nick didn't write a full description, I'm going to assume Nick is talking about the hype, right? There's a lot of hype around Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of hype around Thanksgiving. Turkey's not that good, right? I think I heard one of my favorite radio people say this a few weeks ago, and I'm going to copyright here. You wouldn't order turkey as the 7th choice on a regular night at a really good restaurant. You're not going to a really good restaurant on a regular night going, give me the turkey. I want the turkey. No, you might on a sandwich. But when we're talking about meals, dinner, main course, turkey's not most people's first option. So there's a lot of hype around Thanksgiving when in actuality, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good food. Like, I like the food, but think about it. Somebody wrote in saying the best part of Thanksgiving might be the cheesecake. So if the best part of your holiday is a dessert, that might indict you on where you would rank this holiday. We finish with Aiden Pichon. He writes, Josh Allen in overtime. I would think that means you're really good the entire day, and then late you just lose it, right? And that's fine. That might be a more personal thing there for Mr. Pichon than everybody or everybody's feelings on Thanksgiving, that is. But get us the Rome Show 1, Instagram, X. Oh my God, I keep doing that. The Rome Show 1, Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, do your thing. Write in, let us know if Thanksgiving was a professional athlete, what professional athlete would Thanksgiving be? The Rome Show podcast, if you missed that, and you can listen to our analysis, or head to 12ozsports.com and you can see all of our reruns, or subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is so super easy. All right, today, here are the 3 games that you have on the docket in the National Football League. I'll give you the games, I'll give you the times, I'll give you the spreads, and then we are going to take our commercial break and come back on the backside, and we are going to break each one of these down. So it starts with the Bears at the – wait, hold on. What are we doing? That's right. We're giving a football schedule. We're breaking down some football. We're getting excited for football on Thanksgiving. That means only one thing. Okay. 3 games on the docket tonight, today, this evening, whatever the hell you want to say. 12:30, 4:30, 8:20 p.m. Why the random 10-minute difference from the National Football League? No one really knows. First game we have today is the Bears at the Lions. The Lions, I saw last night, were favored at 9.5. I've seen some places they're favored at 10.5. More times than not, I've seen a 10. So at the end of the day, the Lions are favored by 10. The over-under in this game is large. I was thinking to myself last night, 47.5. Oh, and it's 9.5 now on ESPN Bet. I was thinking about this last night. 9.5 is a large number, but we've seen Detroit cover like 14.5 so far this year. So for me, that number probably comes down to my trust in the Bears over my belief in the Lions. So Lions favored 9.5, 47.5 is the over. At 4:30, the Giants are at the Cowboys. The Cowboys are favored by 3.5 in this game. The total, the total of this game's 37.5. If there's something that's more of an indictment onto where the two teams are right now and how bad they are, that is the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. It's right there. It's the fact that them playing a game, Vegas doesn't believe they'll score more than a combined 38 points. I mean, think about that. Just for a reference point for everybody, that's 19 versus 19. So that's not a good place to be if you're the Cowboys or the Giants. I don't know if I could trust either of these teams. And then finally, you have the Dolphins heading to Green Bay. Now, this is where you're going to have to stick with us after the commercial break because we have information on each of these games, including this Miami Dolphins team playing in weather that is under a certain temperature. It has not been good historically for the Miami Dolphins, and they need this game. A 5-6 Miami Dolphins team on a 3-game winning streak trying to get themselves back into playoff contention needs this game. And the Green Bay Packers fighting a game behind the Minnesota Vikings for the lead in the NFC North at 8-3, looking to continue their good play. So a lot. That last game, good thing the NFL put that at 8-20 because most people are cool missing the Bears at the Lions. Oh, everybody in America is cool missing the Giants at the Cowboys, but I don't think anyone's going to be cool missing the Dolphins at Green Bay because I think that is going to be the best game played today. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your schedule today in the National Football League on Turkey Day. Here's what we're going to do because we have professional obligations to 12OZ Sports and to the people that help us pay our bills. We are going to take a commercial break. When we come back from the commercial break, we will go individually through each game to give you some stats and then our predictions. Our predictions for the National Football League today, Thanksgiving, will serve as our daily bananas. Okay, so when we get back from commercial break, I need you to lock in because we'll go through each game, pick our spread, pick our over-under, and then give you our feeling on the game from a football standpoint. The Rome Show, special Thanksgiving Day show. We appreciate anybody that got up with us this morning at 7 a.m. to talk some Thanksgiving ratings, to talk some football, and to have a little bit of fun. Andrew Romanella, 12ozsports.com. Back after this commercial break.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them. Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Yeah, it's the Rome Show. 12ozsports.com. Broadcast live. X, YouTube. Subscribe to both. 12OZ Sports to do that. It's super easy. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Wishing everybody a safe, happy, and healthy Thanksgiving holiday with your family and friends. If you missed the first 15, we broke down what professional athlete Thanksgiving would be. That's a lot of fun. If you're here for the last 15, we are breaking down Thanksgiving Day football. Let's start with the Bears at the Lions. As I mentioned before, the line has fluctuated a few different times. We started it at 10. It's now at 9.5. That's in favor of the Lions. Some information on both of these teams to give you an idea of what you're looking at today. The Detroit Lions are winners of 9 straight. After a loss in week 2 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit has absolutely gone off, including scoring 40 or more points in each of their last 3 home games. The Detroit Lions are also the longest tenured team to be playing on Thanksgiving Day. As I mentioned yesterday, I am praying that they do not wear those ugly uniforms. Right now, the Lions are scoring as an offense 32.7 points per game. That is good for number 1 in the National Football League. And on the flip side, their defense is holding teams to 16.6 points per game. They give up a total of 322 yards per game. The place that I think the Lions have found their identity is how hard it is going to be to get anything against this team. Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions in one game this year. Jared Goff has 9 total on the entire season, and he won that 5 interception game. My point with that is you have to force the Detroit Lions into mistakes offensively because their defense is so good that you're not going to see many mistakes from them. And when they do make a mistake on defense, you have to take advantage. And I said it before the commercial break. Do I trust the Bears offense enough? Because if you look at what Caleb Williams has done as this season has gone on, it has not been very spectacular. The bottom line is Caleb Williams has been as inconsistent as the bottom 15 quarterbacks in the league. He is a rookie, I understand, but that was not obviously the idea when being drafted number one overall. He has an 85 QB rating. He's thrown 11 touchdowns to 5 interceptions for 2,356 yards. He's completing 62.6% of his passes. He's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. Had to change an offensive coordinator halfway through the year. I think a lot has gone on there. Has good weapons. They just have not figured out how they want that thing to work in Chicago. So for this game, it's going to be, do the Detroit Lions beat themselves, or what Caleb Williams shows up? I think those are the two keys to the game. For the Bears, what quarterback shows up for this team? / can you slow down that offense any way, shape, or form? Just hold them under 40 at home and you have a chance. And then for the Bears, what Caleb Williams shows up? Because you got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, Taylor Swift, DeAndre Swift, right? You have those weapons. The team is good. You just got to figure out what's happening here. So for my first pick, when it comes to banana, I'm going to take the Lions at the 9.5. Okay, they're favored by 9.5. I will take them at the 9.5. I believe the Lions are good enough to cover this spread. And on top of that, okay, the Bears are 1-4 against the spread in their past 5 games. Now, here's an interesting nugget to add to the mix there when talking about the Bears and the betting possibilities of this game. In those same 4 or 5 games, the Bears' total points in those games has gone under. Not just the Bears themselves, like the game's total points. So something interesting to look at there. So like I said, give me the Lions and give me the Lions at the 9.5. Let's continue to move on to game number 2, which we have the Cowboys at the Giants. Now, correction, the Giants at the Cowboys. Both these teams are terrible. Drew Lock is most likely starting for the New York Football Giants. Tommy DeVito has been hurt. Daniel Jones is now a Minnesota Viking. So we will see what it looks like for the Giants with Drew Lock at quarterback. But at the end of the day, not the offensive scenario you're looking for if you're the New York Giants. So there's going to be a lot to prove there if you're this Giants football team, who is a middle-of-the-pack defense, giving up roughly 23 points per game and nearly 350 total yards to each team. They're not the worst defense in this league, but they're not the best. And I think part of that is because their dramatic shift with their pressure from the defensive line. Here's an interesting statistic for you on the Giants. Defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence had 9 sacks from week 1 to week 7. But since week 8, Dexter Lawrence has had 0 sacks. Okay? That is a dramatic change. Now, you can't expect him to stay on a 9 sack per 7 game pace. That is not necessarily normal. That's an extremely great year. Michael Strahan status, TJ Watt, JJ Watt type status, right? But that's an indictment on where their defense has trended in the last 5 weeks. And without pressure on the quarterback, it makes sense as to why Baker Mayfield and the Bucs could easily whip the ball around the field and score 30 points on this Giants team. That will be, though, if he gets the double-digit sacks, that is Dexter Lawrence. He will be the third Giants player with double-digit sacks through 12 games in the past 15 seasons. When I went on that rant the other day, which somebody tried to chirp me on TikTok for, which was hilarious, Johnny Brown, looking for you to call in. Haven't seen you. Either way, I'm talking that's the identity of this franchise, but they're losing that identity. On the other side, Cooper Rush and the Cowboys are coming off a really, really good victory against the Washington Commanders. Neither of these teams are really talking playoffs, but for the Cowboys, you had a whole higher and greater expectation list than the New York Football Giants, and right now it does not look very good. So the last few weeks of the season, you're trying to figure out who you're keeping, what's up with your head coach, and where's this franchise going in the future. So a lot of questions to be answered for the Cowboys. The unders are 5-0 when Giants play teams with losing records this season. So let's make our pick. I'm going to take the Giants are down 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take the Giants. Yeah, that's right. No, even though I've hammered them, I'm not believing in them. I'll tell you this. Why? I'll take the Giants at the plus 3.5 because I don't believe in the Cowboys. I don't believe in Cooper Rush. And this is the most Giants thing to happen ever over the last 5 to 6 years. They'll bench Daniel Jones, cut him, play Tommy DeVito. He'll get hurt. Then your backup quarterback you signed for $5 million, it's been the backup the entire year that you probably should have just gone to, is going to go into Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. And I don't know if he'll find a way to win, but I think he'll find a way to keep this thing close and cover the 3.5. So I'm going to take the Giants at plus 3.5 here, but I'm also going to go with that under. I've always said it. If an under's at the line of 40 or slightly below, I like to take the under on that number. It's sitting at 37.5 right now. So 2 picks in this game. The Giants plus 3.5 and the under 37.5.
Ba 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 na na.
All right, and finally, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, they travel to Green Bay where they look to take on the Packers and Jordan Love and keep their playoff hopes alive. The only problem is the temperature is supposed to be under 40 degrees. Right now, reading 28 degrees. So here's some information for you on the Miami Dolphins. Over the last 20 seasons, when the Miami Dolphins have played a game in a temperature that is 50 degrees or less, the Dolphins are atrocious, good English, 15 for 43. In the last 20 seasons in games under 50 degrees. They are 20-22 in their last 22 of those games. Furthermore, in games that are below 40 degrees of temperature, the Miami Dolphins are 8-19 overall in games under 40 degrees in the last 20 seasons. And the Dolphins are currently on an 11-game losing streak, as you can see on your screen right now, in games of 40 degrees or less. So the bottom line in this game, I could read you all the statistics. I could tell you about the Tua Tagovailoa, Jordan Love quarterback matchup. We could talk to you about the defenses on both sides, the running game, how Tua's thrown 7 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks, no interceptions. We could talk about all that stuff. But at the end of this day, this game is going to come down to how the Dolphins handle the Colts. And look at your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. Outside of December 2022 and January 2023, which is the same season, just to remind everybody, the Dolphins get slaughtered. It's not that they just lose. They get slaughtered. 30-12, 24-16, 29-13, 31-12, 42-17, 41-24, 56-26. It's a pounding. So that is, like we've been talking about with football programs, organizations in general, what's your identity? What's your culture? The Dolphins need to break their identity of we cannot play football in cold games. And on the other side, Jordan Love can't turn the football over. In 12 games this season, in 11 games this season, the Packers are 8-3, but Jordan Love has thrown a pick or more in 10 of them, including the first 10 games of the season. Jordan Love turned the ball over at least one time. Last week's victory was the first time in the year 2024 Jordan Love has not turned the football over via the interception. So you look at these numbers on the board and you say, man, the Dolphins got to attack their bugaboo of can they play in under 50-degree weather. And on the other side, Jordan Love says, hey, we have a team before they come into this building on the ropes because they're so poor in cold weather. I need to hold on to the football and have no mistakes. You hold on to the football, you have no mistakes. Usually that's a really good recipe, especially playing a team that, like we said this entire time, is not very good in the cold. Something interesting about the Miami Dolphins. 3 weeks ago, Tua Tagovailoa, we didn't know if he was going to come back. The Dolphins were the worst scoring offense in the National Football League at nearly 15.5 to 16 points per game. In 3 weeks, with Tua back at the helm at the quarterback position, the Miami Dolphins, so be it, not the best team in the league, are now 23rd in the league in scoring offense at 19.5. So Tua Tagovailoa is essentially a plus 2.5 to 3 point difference for the Miami Dolphins on average when he is behind center. That is an unbelievable number when you really think about it. So let's pick this game before we get out of here. I, ladies and gentlemen, am going to take, because the Packers, they are favored by 3.5 in this game. And so badly do I want to take the Dolphins. The Packers have forced 3 or more takeaways 6 times this season, and I keep talking about this cold weather stuff. So as badly as I want to go with my Dolphins, I think I'm going to have to take the Packers, and here's finally why. The Packers are 8-3 outright against the spread in games that are 32 degrees or less with Matt LaFleur as the head coach. Matt LaFleur can get the boys right when it is cold out, okay? So I'm going to take, for my banana pick, I'm going to take the Packers at the -3.5.
Ba 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 na na. Ba 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 na 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 na.
Listen, if there's anything I can tell you about spending your money on sports teams to win games or players to hit props, sometimes you got to be realistic over fanship, and that's what I'm trying to do today. Will I be rooting to lose that wager? Most likely, because I want the Dolphins to win. But at the end of the day, I also love to win bananas. Hey, thank you for joining us on Thanksgiving here on The Rome Show. I hope you have a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving with you and your family. Thank you. I am thankful for you, the fan, for tuning into The Rome Show weekly at 7 a.m. and helping be a part of the 12 OZ sports community. Andrew Romanella telling you, be electric today and have an awesome holiday with your family. See ya on Friday. Peace.
Thank you for listening.